welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for another edition of YBMcast, powered by Game 7 Baseball, Game7Baseball.com. One of these days, we're going to have Mitch be singing a jingle here, but we're going to have to get that in his contract because he wouldn't do it otherwise.
It's going to be terrible.
Mitch, how you doing, buddy?
I am good, sir. Thanks for having me. It's been a while. It's hot.
It has, right? Yeah.
Wow.
And as always, our good buddy from Game 7 Baseball, Dave Penning. Dave, you're out at the lake house, and it looks like your house smells of rich cedar.
Yeah, right now it does, I guess.
I couldn't help it, man. How you doing, bud?
Working though, Brian. I'm gonna have to hop off here and go meet Darren, the Quincy director here, and give him some more baseballs and some more awards up here in Quincy, and some more baseball supplies. He has 3 tournaments left, so
sweet.
We'll see how that goes.
Sweet. So we'll jump in this real quick. You were out at Edwardsville, and you had the 9U Elite up there, correct?
We had 9s, we had 10s, we had 12s.
You had all 3 of them, all those. Correct. And I think that's interesting. I like these age groups where you're doing it, and you got the Elite. They're all AAA major events that you can get into them. You had 7 teams at the 9U level. You had a team out of Louisville, the Louisville Sting. But in the end of the day, you had quite a few quality teams there. Was that Vincennes from Indiana, correct?
That is correct, sir. It was a nice mix of 9U teams. Nice to see, especially in that younger age group, 9 really good ball clubs.
So we got right down to it in that final. St. Louis Clutch, Carricker's squad is always right there, aren't they?
Yeah, Sting, Louisville jumped out on them early, and they just kept scratching and clawing and coming back, and finally wore them down and come out victorious.
And there was some good baseball in here. The Louisville Sting beat that Indiana team, Vincennes, I guess it is, 9U 9-5 in the semifinal, and the Clutch beat Nike Redbirds, that Sam Basta squad, 8-7 in the other semi, and a 12-9 final. So it's good baseball at 9U.
Really good game. Yes, it was. Really good baseball for 9U.
And those are all turf fields over there at Plummer, correct? Or is that the grass?
No, 100% turf fields. One of the nicest complexes in the Midwest, in my opinion.
Is that right?
No, it's really nice.
So then the other side of that, Dave, you had the 10U, the Elite Championships. You had 6 teams there. Tell us a little bit about what you saw there, bud.
Some more very good baseball, Brian. For 10U, the umpires come out, 10U. I said, watch, you'll be impressed. And I'm like, holy cow, Dave, you're right. This is some really good baseball over here. So, that was the Clutch came out victorious on that. And kudos to the O'Fallon Athletics. They pushed their young men, and look, they made it all the way to the finals. They're a AA team and pushed their young men and got a lot of juice out of that lemon, if you will, and they made it to the finals and had the Clutch on the ropes there for a while. But, at the end, that Clutch 10U team, they're just very, very solid from top to bottom.
Is that Cranor-Wetter's?
That's Cranor-Wetter's squad.
Is that the team that's been playing up at several times this year, the 12U level?
Well, they're 10, but they've been playing up to 11, and as 11's have been playing up to 12.
Okay,
but,
gotcha.
Yes, sir.
From 9, 10, and 11, that St. Louis Clutch group is as good a group as there is in the state. Am I correct?
Yeah, they got a pretty good start there at the younger thing. They joined RBC, so that's a nice little breeding ground, if you will, for the RBC guys. Legacy. Legacy
so Cranor-Wetter's going over to Legacy, St. Louis Legacy. Is that what?
Yeah, I think they made it official last month, but that's what the plans were. So sorry if I spoil it, but I think it's out there already.
Well, we can always go.
Breaking
real quick.
news. Dave Penning, breaking news. No.
Oh,
Hey.
no, I think
Hey,
it's already.
You know
public
what?
knowledge.
I'll call Mike Ott and we'll figure it out. Hey, but you know what? Go ahead.
You know, in youth baseball, no, none of these coaches or players or fans can keep a secret. You know that.
Well, Craig Ringy over there is, I think, you know, that guy's at the top level. He's when we watched him at our winter workout tour, I really liked how he did things there with the kids in the winter workout tour. You know, they got some really good coaches over there. As far Brian, I'm trying to remember his last name. Has a 13U squad. Oh, son of a gun, that's terrible. But I know he played ball with Craig Ringy in college, and he's there. Brian, I'm trying to remember. All I can think of is Brown, and I can't remember his last name. I'm sorry, Brian.
Brian French.
No, yeah, you know, and they got great facilities. So, and
I don't know why I thought that was so funny.
Well, you know, it ain't me.
I think he's much older than Craig Ringy.
Hey, easy there. No,
You might have been his college coach.
Yeah, you know, there you go.
Sorry.
But so that's interesting stuff. So then you had the 12U out there as well, another 8 teams. Talk a little bit about that one, Dave.
Yeah, the 12s, you know, once again, they were proactive out of the gate, so we had enough teams to separate the divisions, if you will. So we had a 12 AA and a 12 AAA major. So the 12 AA were Carterville Canyons and Athletics in the finals there.
I see that. That was a good event with those 8 O'Fallon. I like that group, O'Fallon Bombers. They work hard in that. Midwest Rebels are always right there. Columbia, is that Columbia, Illinois, or Columbia, Missouri? The Saints.
Illinois.
Okay.
Illinois, yes.
There's too many towns with the same names.
There is. I actually, the guy who is part of that Columbia Saints program, he had played Montclair baseball for a real long time, which is an adult men's league, and they actually have a field in the middle of nowhere, and they get to practice on that. So I ran into a couple of the guys that played for the Montclair team that now have younger kids that developed this, and it's a pretty cool atmosphere. It is literally it's not the Field of Dreams, but it is. It is in the middle of nowhere. There's corn and beans, and then there's a field. And they got sunken dugouts. It's actually pretty cool. So if anybody ever gets a chance to go over there and play, they have a pretty cool baseball field over there.
That's cool. Some more good baseball, as Dave said. A 9-6 semifinal between the Adidas Athletics and Midwest Rebels. Carterville Cannons had beat the Gators, Coach Martin's squad 5-4 in a 12-8 final in the championship, going to the Adidas Athletics. And then the AAA, Dave, as you said, a lot of teams. That's 6 teams theirs. That's a total of 14 teams there at that 12U playing at this event. That's a good solid turnout, isn't it?
Yeah, I was camped out. The team check-in right there was in front of D2. They have 4 fields, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the check-in table was right there in front of D2. So I got to watch a lot of that division, and I was impressed. The Gamers came out on top. I tell you, you could tell. I mean, that team is definitely clicking on all 8 cylinders, and they're peaking at the right time. Very, very, very well coached ball club, because in the semifinals, they played the swing check from Tennessee. They traveled with 9 guys. As a matter of fact, their first pool game, they played with 8 guys because they had an individual that was at a basketball camp and couldn't come late, so they took an out for the 9th, and they still managed to pull one out in pool play, but they had 9 very talented kids that came and played, and it was extremely hot on that turf, but they did well, and Coach Whiteside, he picked like 2 or 3 runners off at second base to hold on to that victory there. It was very impressive.
Over the U.S. In the semifinals?
In the semifinals, he screen checked. And then in the finals, Caffey's U.S. national team, great battle. they did very well, and a lot of home runs this weekend. A lot of baseballs flying over the fence.
You should have watched that young man hit in high school.
Yeah.
Coach Caffey.
Yeah.
Man, it's what's so cool about all of this is all these names that you're starting to see as coaches, and I'm being a part of this. I get to see guys I have played baseball against that I didn't even know that were out there coaching, or on the softball side. So it's kind of neat, and I'm just like, these guys are dudes. they're obviously coaching dudes, so or future dudes, I guess.
It is fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm sure you get to experience that with your, having your own, Justin out playing. You're starting to see those guys he played against or with out in the coaching world getting back. I just think it's cool.
Yeah. The biggest thing is the gray hair ain't fooling anybody anymore.
Yeah. Talk about two dudes. You had Whiteside going against Caffey there. They both could, flat ball out at their age. They look like they could still play.
Yeah. Yep.
It's true, and I think that's why St. Louis baseball is so good. I think that's why we have the talent levels growing. I think that's why you're seeing high school baseball improving. You're seeing these coaches, these guys that have played at a high level coming back, giving back in the communities, coaching, sharing their knowledge. I think those are all positive things. And as long as we're keeping these things in perspective, understanding how we're coaching the game, and I will say it again and again and again, I think it's very important that we respect the game.
Yeah. Before I hop off here, I'd like to give a special thanks to all the umpires that helped out over there. It was extremely hot on that turf, and actually Friday night we battled through a rain, no lightning, thank goodness. So we kept playing, and it came down pretty hard there. The kids were like, "No, we're still playing." I was like, "Yes, we are."
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. But Sunday was, dodged a storm that went right around us, but it was extremely hot. Thanks for the guys hanging in there. Unfortunately, we had a couple guys that didn't show, and like to thank Matt and Matt Clark for coming over. He drove an hour and 30 minutes to get over there. I called him at 7:30 in the morning on a Sunday morning on his day off. He stopped what he was doing, said, "Hey, I got to throw my shirt in the dryer here, and I'll be right over for you, Dave." And lo and behold, he did. And Skylar came over from Missouri side, and I put them on the field. Those guys did 5 games in a row, knocked it out of the park for me. And cannot thank them enough for saving a day for us over there.
Yeah, were you able to operate this weekend with having 2 umpires on all the fields? Because I know that was a big buzz on social media this week,
Yes.
and that umpires were an issue for some sanctions or directors.
Yes. Actually, we had 3 on the field at sometimes. That 12U AAA division, we had 3 on the field for the last 4 games, and we had 2 on the field. We did have one game that started out with a single solo man, and then in Wentzville, where we did experience a 45, 50-minute rain delay, and then it got so hot and so humid. Unfortunately, we did have a young man go down, so we had to finish I think it was the 11U or 12U championship game with a solo. But Sam did a great job, and no complaints out of that. Everybody was very receptive and understanding of the situation because they were right there with it and saw it all transpire. Young man got sick, and last game of the day, it's kind of hard to call somebody up and get a fill in, but Sam did a great job.
It just goes to show the efforts that you guys put in as a group at Game 7, just to make sure that these kids are getting the best experience out there. I mean, obviously, parents have a lot of say, so to good or bad, but to be able to run a tournament like that, it's just hats off to you guys, your umpiring crew, and the willingness to get out there and take those 5 games. And I actually think it's pretty cool to have that 3-man crew. It had to be fun for the umpires because that's not often that you get a chance to run a 3-man. So I wonder if there was any communications, nonverbals, because a guy missed an assignment from running, 2-mans all the time in the coverages. But I think that's pretty cool, especially for the young guys. It feels like
or both
cool
of you
atmosphere.
run into the middle of the field.
Well, I could see it.
Yeah, that could backfire on you. But however, the 3 guys that were on there were veteran guys, and they had been accustomed to it before. They've ran it in high school. They do a lot of high school. They're Illinois patch guys, so they knew exactly what to do, and they did a very, very good job.
Did they do that on their own, or is that something that you tried to set up with them?
Well, after the panic mode I went through at 7:50 in the morning, where a couple of individuals were sick, and then one had a car wreck on the way over. So me and our Illinois assigner were on the phone, working the phones, and at that point we were panicking because we definitely want 2 guys on the field at all times, but we just told the people to come on over and show up, and the guys were very fortunate to come help us out on a Sunday morning at 7:30. So I said, if you get here, we're going to find a spot for you. So wasn't planned, but that's the way it worked out. And hey, you know what? It cost us a little extra money, but the money's not the issue here with Game 7, like some of these doubting towns. Not again, Mitch. Some of these people, others on a social media group, but no, we put them out there. They did a great job, so I'm very, very happy with the outcome over there.
And I love that thought process because it is about the kids being able to play. The people have come out, and that you're willing to say, look, guys, and taking care of these guys. I think that if the umpires are willing to work, we have to be willing to take care of them, right?
Absolutely. You have to take care of them. And, sometimes it's not all about the almighty dollar. We've lost some guys that jump ship, but, it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being comfortable with the uncomfortable. That's what I always try to tell my athletes, and I feel like that's probably what it's like to be a director. I know what it's like to be an owner of a batting cage and a club team, so I'd imagine that's some similarities as far as curveballs being thrown at you often. Sometimes
lots of curveballs here lately.
Some of them are pretty good.
We're going to have to let Dave jump off. He's got to get back to his business. We always appreciate you being part of the show and on the show, Dave. We're going to be out at Bridgeton this weekend. Justin and I will have the cameras out. The crews come over, check it out, come see us. We're going to be live streaming the game from Bridgeton, the 14U championship. We got another top award to give away, too, so always fun.
Hey, I'll see you over there. Schmidt and I are going to be bouncing from park to park this weekend, so we're tying up some loose ends on the World Series, so we're going to come out, and we'll see you out there at BMAC. And like always, Brian and Mitch, thanks for having me on.
Don't forget to come out and see me at Prue Creek, since you put us all the way out there. I live right down the street, so I'm good.
It's your backyard.
I know, it is. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I always try to throw a little humor and make you smile. You got nice dimples and good high cheekbones.
Hey,
Youth baseball. Sorry. Youth baseball. Have a good one, Dave.
We'll see
See you
Dave.
guys. Take care.
You're a mess.
It's been a while.
Oh, that's funny.
I guess we don't need
Oh,
headphones now, do
mercy. No more headphones.
No more headphones.
We're done with the headphones. We can kill
We're
the
probably
headphones.
still on live, aren't we?
Yeah,
Okay,
we're still rolling.
Justin didn't point at me or cut me
No,
off or anything.
he
so
didn't
I
cut
guess
you
we're still
off.
going.
So before we get into anything else, I want to share that because Game 7's been getting into Kentucky, the Ray Jones Athletic Complex. They had one in Greenville, Kentucky. I always like looking at these teams because, seeing what else is out there. A team called just South, South.
I guess they're from the north. I'm kidding. That was bad. That was really bad.
Well, it may be Northern Kentucky. I don't know. South. That's just what it is. Newburgh Fire, Clarksville Orioles, Clarksville Clutch, Cyclones, Mad Mavericks, Kentucky. I love that. Mad Mavericks. Western Kentucky Dingers.
Because that's what we do.
We hit dingers. I hope they hit dingers. If you're gonna call your team dingers,
You better swing it.
you got to have some kids.
You better swing it.
Right?
You better
I
swing
mean,
it.
don't do it otherwise.
Yeah. Like the road runners, or something like that. You better be able to run.
And a bunch of guys out there just clodding up the base paths.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Can't
Right,
do that.
can't.
So, but looks like the Cyclones came out on top of this. And what's interesting? They were the 5 seed.
That probably had to do with them running into one of the top 2 seeds, though, probably. Because obviously you saw when looking at the results that, the top team only gave up 2 runs in pool play.
Exactly.
And the number 2 team gave up 5.
Exactly.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
And that Charlottesville or Clarksville clutch had only given up 5 runs too. So.
And the Cyclones had lost to the Clarksville Orioles, which was the 3 seed, 2-0, and they'd beat the Western Kentucky Dingers 13-1. Not a lot of dingers there for the old Western Kentucky
Maybe
folk.
it was just a solo shot.
Could have been.
No
Could
doubles.
have been. But they defeated the Newburgh Fire 13-0. And again, I think when you see those scores at the end of a day, you're playing 3 games to get into there. You've run out of pitching. And we talk about this consistently because the semifinals were pretty good. Cyclones beat the Padres 8-7, and Newburgh beat the Clarksville Orioles 8-3. I think Newburgh just probably, they got there. A lot of teams, do what you can to get there.
Just get there.
That's it. So
Get there and play it.
kudos. Always luck to see what's going on in Kentucky up there in Q-Town. Dave was getting ready to head up there to talk with Darren Dodd, get some stuff going on up there. They finished off a weekend, 8U machine pitch, bombs away.
I love it.
There you go. And they put up bombs away. I love
That
those
had to
guys.
just be a fun game. And then like that semifinal game that they had played, or even really the quarterfinal games, 11-10, 14-11, and then that semifinal game for the bombs away team. It's a 14-12 or 14-13 game.
Yeah.
I mean, they scored a ton of runs.
Well, bombs away. There you go.
In the last couple of games there.
Exactly. They outlasted Quincy Mayhem 18-10 in the championship there of the machine pitch, and then the 12U AA squads. You had the Missouri Diamond Kings up there, Limestone Rockets out of Bartonville, Illinois. Gotta love that. Limestone Rockets. Gas House Boys, love that. Show Me Bulls, Dirtbags, Chatham Braves. At the end of the day,
I love that Dirtbags name.
the Gas House Boys come out over on top of the Dirtbags, 7-4 in the championship. After a couple of really solid semifinal games, Dirtbags outlasted Mo Diamond Kings 10-7, and the Gas House Boys defeated the Limestone Rockets 8-7 in the semifinals of that 12
Yeah, they beat them in the 1 seed, right? The Dirtbags were 4 seed, 3 seed. What were they?
Mo Kings were number 1. Dirtbags were the 5
seed.
seed. Yeah. So, but 1-1. A lot of there was 4 teams there, 1-1. So pretty evenly matched group is what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So I love to see that. You have some teams that are that's competition right there.
You feel good about your team going into it for sure.
Absolutely. 13U, Tri-State Sandlot, the GC. That's probably Gem City Tribe.
Granite City.
Granite City could be. Let's take a look. Granite City. Look at the dude.
I know my fellow tribe teams.
There you go.
I have no idea who they are. We showed up at the park one time in one of these, and we had, I think the Jackson tribe were there, Granite City tribe was there, we were there, and I'm like, a few years ago there was only one in the area. Now it seems like everybody.
Tribe everywhere. We got tribes everywhere.
I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to change the name.
You're
That's not a hint to anything either.
Oh, okay. I was like,
don't ask. Yeah.
Okay.
If I did, I'd have 2 names in my mind.
Midland Bandits were there. Browns, Illinois Steel, Nemo Sluggers, Quincy Patriots, and the Gem City Bombers.
Can we take a guess real quick where that Illinois Steel team's from?
Steelville?
No. Where do you think they're from? Don't click it. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Where did you think it was?
Granite City.
Oh, okay.
Granite City Steel.
Where were
Kinda
they
thing.
from?
Morton,
Morton, Illinois.
I don't know where
Yeah.
Morton, Illinois is at.
I don't either.
No,
I don't know that much about all that. But the Illinois Steel from Morton, Illinois comes out on top with the... Look at that. We're sitting here... No, seriously, look at that.
I see it. I'm
Illinois
looking.
Steel.
I can't focus.
I get it.
Blurry.
I get it. That's why I have the spectacles and whatnot. Illinois Steel defeated the Tri-State Sandlot 7-3 in the semi, and Midland made it to the finals by a 4-3 win over the Granite City Tribe. And Illinois Steel beat Midland 10-4 in the championship game. So nice, solid. That was a good tournament up there. And I like what Darren Dodd's doing up there. It's a great opportunity to get out of town. If you go up to Quincy, it's not that far of a drive.
Nope. 2 hours, maybe?
Yeah, about that. About 2 hours. Yeah. And, Quincy's nice up there, and there's a lot of stuff to do up in that You can go over to Hannibal. As he said, Mark Twain Lake. Great stuff up there. It's
turf
it's a
too,
nice trip.
so it's turf, and you can go up early in the year, catch a tournament, and check out Quincy baseball.
Yeah,
D2.
Yeah,
and over there, they got a nice little park and field, and plus they're a good quality college team. So
then locally here, folks, I like this Cup Championship stuff that they do. They give out the Game 7
I saw
Blues
that,
looking jersey. I think it's cool. I think they do. That's cool. So 7U started out. I mean, man. Oh, there's the Swing Check 7U. And Swing Check, isn't that the one they were talking about that came over? The Swing Check was also in that bigger event across the way. Yeah, Jackson, Tennessee. So they had a couple teams come over. Swing Check 7U came over as well from Tennessee to play in this one, and they won it 10-5 over the Prospects in the 7U bracket. In the silver bracket, Missouri Gators Eubanks team beat the Gators 9-6. So let's move on to our 9U. Diamond Stars, Midwest Rebels, Montgomery County Bombers. They're coming over a lot and playing, doing pretty well. Eureka Eagles, Missouri Redhawks, and the Chesterfield Titans, and the Montgomery County Bombers.
I think they've won a couple of them this year, correct? I mean, as few of the shows I've done in the 9U side, they've done a pretty good job. And from what I understand, I guess they're really just focused on that youth age group. And once the boys start to get into that high school level, they start kind of sending those kids out, because we have pulled a couple kids from that 13U team that are now 14s that have from the Warrenton, High Hill, Montgomery City area. So it's just a small town out there. But I guess they're just really focused on the youth.
And I'd say you probably see a lot of those kids too. Some of those kids playing Legion Ball as well, and then they're traveling to you get a mix of it.
Yeah, sure, I can see that. I mean, obviously Legion's very cost effective. For the pocketbook, it's a fun little league, and in small towns have a really big presence for Legion still.
Yeah, absolutely. In the 10U, you had Midland Bandits, Missouri Gators, Gamers Blue, Midwest Rebels, St. Louis Force, pretty much the usual suspects. It's funny. I'm going to say this real quick because we've talked about this, and I think this is an interesting topic, and we'll probably get into it a little more depth. Because I always think, people travel out of town. We want to see a different team. We want to see a different team. We want to see different competition. We want to do this. We want to do this. One of the things that I think is interesting is in everything you do after youth baseball, high school, you're playing the same teams. College, you're playing the same teams. That's what conferences are. The Major League Baseball, you're playing the same teams.
I think it's fun we obviously know that they go to each coast. The Cardinals do, right? And there's times.
Now, do they play their division foes more times than the others? Yes, and all that. Do they play National League more than the American League? Yes, I get all those things. But I think there's something to be said where you have the Midland Bandits here, Missouri Gators, Gamers, Midwest Rebels, St. Louis Force. These are all teams, all clubs that you know. Have some pride, have some things in that way. Get to know playing these teams. Use it as that. Set your mind to that. I think that's the one thing. Get better in those things. It's okay to go and travel and play another team and whatnot. But at this age level, these kids are still learning. It's good. Start learning, start teaching them what a scouting report is. Start teaching them hey, we faced this pitcher before. What are we going to do? What's our approach against this guy? We've seen this pitcher now 5 times. We have this information. How are you teaching these kids to play the game?
That's development, right? It's part of the development process. And speaking of kind of just the things that you're talking about is I played baseball with Coach Mayer of the Bandits who won that 10U tournament. And he called me right after the weekend and just was ecstatic about his group. And it was the first time he really felt like he said he could just sit down and just enjoy the game. They were turning double plays that comebacker to the pitcher. The pitcher got it, threw it to second right away, and all that stuff was pre-planned. They pre-pitch planned. Hey, comebacker to me.
We
I'm
understand.
Going here.
Yeah.
And so they're starting to click with just playing
the
good
game.
baseball and expecting at certain times to if they need to put a bunt down, if they need to, how to hit the opposite way with 2 strikes when you got a runner at second base. They're doing these small things even at 10U, and it seems like something petty. But what's going to happen when they get 14U is they're not going to be behind.
Right.
Right. They're being taught now, and sometimes they had to take their lumps, and they did last year, they did early, and they have at times this year. But now it's starting to just click, and it's really fun to be a part of that process. And so again, talking to him and just the development that he is trying to focus on, he is doing those things, and it's just. But getting back to a point that you made is the pride. He had lost to some of these teams before.
Yeah. Yes.
And so now it creates like one of the teams he's lost to 4 times, and all he wanted to do was beat the team, and they go out and beat him. And so for him, it was a victory. It's the rivalry, things like that. He didn't need to travel to Quincy, Tennessee, or whatever. Not saying that he can't, but he wants to beat those teams first that are beating him.
And I think that's great. See, we have these club teams. Why not? That to me is what that should be about. Hey, we're playing, the Midwest Rebels. We're playing Lisk's team. We've played them. This is our history against them. We know these pitchers. We know these guys. Who's going to get the best of it? And I think this is what you're going to face the rest of your career, however long it goes. You're going to see that guy. You're going to see that guy in high school, at Zumwalt South, at Francis Howell, at St. Charles West, at
wherever you're at,
Rittner, at CBC, whatever the case may be.
Thanks for bringing Rittner into that, by the way.
We have some family kids go to Rittner too.
Oh man!
So there you go.
They're in a tough place.
Yeah, but that, you see what I mean? So I think, can we take a different approach to this, Mitch, and understand? I love seeing this because you got Midland Bandits, Missouri Gators, Gamers Blue, Midwest Rebels, St. Louis Force, all teams that, why don't we let's focus on that. Let's take that approach to these kids and teach them that, hey, this is how we develop. And that goes to your point with Coach Mayer.
Yeah, and I'm sure other guys are like that. I've talked, again, being back in baseball as heavy as I am right now, and kind of flipping the mold at the hitting zone from being softball, back into the baseball side of things. I am starting to see all of the youth stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching these teams that are good. I'm starting to pay attention to the coach and what they're doing and trying to buy some of their philosophies and things like that. And it's exciting what they're trying to do. And these are parent coaches.
Yes.
They're not all paid coaches and stuff like that. They may be in an organization that says at a certain age group, they have to, the parent coach is no longer, but these are parent coaches doing a really, really good job for the most part of teaching development.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's the IQ side of things that I feel like, is part of the problem here, is that we're just so focused on trophies and things like that. And there's very few times do we have a conversation about pointing to a fly ball that's behind the catcher.
Yeah.
We don't do the small things. You can play the game, right? You swing and you throw and you do all those things. That's the big part, but it's the small details that we miss out on. It's the small details that frustrate me as a coach, because the small details play in high school and college and the professional ranks. That's where you need to be locked in, and we don't do enough of that at this age group.
And I'm going to tell you something. I saw that on full display, Class 4, Class 5, Class 6 at the state championships. Listen, high-level baseball. I mean, that was a 10-inning game in that semifinal between Francis Howell and Liberty North. And neither one of those teams wanted to lose. Those kids went out, they won those games. They went out and they put themselves in position, play after play, seeing high-level baseball, guys robbing, making plays. That kid that I think is Trey Schneider, I think is his name, Liberty North shortstop, in the hole. Unbelievable. Jake McCutcheon, Titus Sissel laying out with a line drive. Could have won. Leo Humbert hoses a kid at the plate. It was just big-time baseball.
It's sacrificing for the better of the team, right? But it's the IQ that it's the willingness.
Yes.
It's the knowing the situation. It's never taking a pitch off. It's always being focused. Maybe not laser focused, but they're always prepared of the what ifs. Okay, you have your original play, but then you're thinking about, well, what if all these things happen? So over time, you start to prepare yourself mentally that you're ready for it all.
Class 5, Platte County, Fort Zumwalt East, a 5-3 ball game. Guys playing at high levels, hits, plays, McGill, big pitches and big moments. Alex Hubner made some great catches in the outfield, running backwards, in, everywhere, which way. It was just really good baseball all the way around, from Platte County to Liberty North to Willard, to all the teams that were there. And this is what I'm talking about here. Let's not worry about traveling so much right now. Let's focus on the development. There's plenty enough talent and good teams and these clubs. And that's one of the things I like, what I saw with Mike Buda, talking with him with Premier Baseball Academy when we did the winter workout tour. Coach Hill from Fort Zumwalt East in the summertime works with the coaches at all age levels, does seminars and coaching clinics with those guys. And I think that's an important piece. I have no problem with the dad coaches. I have no problem with these things. I have no problem. But if we're going to do that, let's make sure that they understand. And you know what? Most of the time, those dads are willing to accept that and look at those things. How can we help these kids? And if we're giving them a framework that will help them develop the kids, then I think that's all the better.
Yeah, and I think that's where, even at times that I've missed, getting involved into this, going from the banking world to coaching college sports, I always thought I could coach the game. It was a matter of running the business now, and because this is a business, right?
Right.
And so going out there and not giving my coaches the resources early on to be successful was something that I learned very quickly. So now we change that. So, what do you need? Some of my coaches don't want it, and they don't need it. They've been around, they've played. I let them do their things because that's what they want to do. It's when I get that new coach that I want to be a part of their process and teach them the game, the importances of things, and there's a place for that. And
Absolutely.
It feels good to know that you have an impact on a grown person.
Yeah.
And then it shows the face of your business and your character. So I gained a lot of respect for Coach Hill. He is a parent coach. He's got a son on that team, on his 14U team for that PBA team, and just getting a chance to see him work.
Absolutely.
All winter long.
Midland Bandits, top two teams were in the championship. Midland Bandits defeated Missouri Gators, Coach Keller's squad, in that championship game. 11U, again, St. Louis Pros, Midland Bandits, Midwest Rebels, Rawlings Tigers, Extreme, Alpha Squad, Bulldogs, St. Louis Force. Again, that's what I'm talking about. It's okay, and I think the development of this, that St. Louis Pros group is pretty good there.
I have not seen them out on a weekend. Is it still the same St. Louis Pros team that's been around for 20-something plus years? Maybe more.
Because some of those St. Louis Pros teams came over and went to Legacy, and some of them stayed together.
Okay.
So you have a little bit of that.
Is it the same group though that's been around for 30 plus years? Okay.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Red, white, and blue jerseys. Okay.
Yeah, that's those guys.
When I played them when I was younger, they had vans and stuff that they would travel in.
Yeah. There you go.
I think that's pretty cool.
They did win this one, beating the Midwest Rebels in the championship game. Coach Nolhoff, I guess that's how you'd pronounce it, defeating Coach Grosh's Midwest Rebels. Sereno's Midland Bandits lost to the Rebels in the semifinal 12-8, and the Pros knocked off the Alpha Squad in the other semifinal there. So congrats to all those teams. Good tournament there. That was 11U. 12U, we have the Rascals, Chuck Rolls squad there.
It's a Hazelwood Central guy?
Yeah.
Coach Rawls?
Yep. And I think Justin played with one of their family members. You played with Rolls. With the, I'm trying to remember that young man's name. Can't remember it, dang it. What's that? Yeah. That's Coach Lautzenheiser from East also has a young man, one of his sons on this team. They're a pretty good, solid squad. They were 2-0. St. Louis Grind was the 2-seed Rawlings Tigers. Coach Deerberg, I've seen them there. Warriors Baseball Club, I think they're out of Columbia. Yep, That's the one out of Columbia, Missouri. Top 4 of the Missouri Sticks 12U was in that. So it was really, you had the top 4 teams at 2-0, the 4 bottom teams at 0-2. So it kind of separated there. So let's see what we got into bracket play here.
I'll be honest. I don't know that I've ever seen a bracket, a pool play that
did that so much.
and then 0-2s.
I know, right?
You always got a 1-1 in there somewhere.
Somewhere. That was interesting, wasn't it? I agree.
I'm sure it's a randomizer, so it's not like anything was done on purpose, but it's just an interesting. I've never seen it.
And the O'Donnell's from up there around Quincy was in that one. You got the pub there. I can't help it. It just Max. And I was corrected. Max Rep Bats. They used to be the Missouri River Bats. Now they're the Max Rep Bats.
Gotcha.
I got that correction. I appreciate you guys commenting below. We appreciate all that. Playing out at Peruke. The Rascals lost to the Warriors Baseball Club 7-6 in the semifinal. Good ball game there. Rawlings Tigers defeated the Max Rep Bats. They were the 7 seed, got in there.
They beat the 2 seed.
Yes, they
right?
did.
Pretty
They beat
handedly.
the St. Louis Grind. Yeah. But the Rawlings Tigers come out on top of the Warriors Baseball Club. Man, that was a big one, 19-9. That's a big score there. Again, I think pitching gets into especially depth that way, especially when you're in some of these AA squads. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be – it's just the reality of it.
I experienced that 2 weeks ago.
Right?
I'm still looking on Game 7's website, waiting for someone to lose by 22 runs or more. So,
you got the
in a championship game.
You got Yadier Molina out there pitching, right?
No, we had a good arm, man. Just Boston's team just took it to us.
Yeah, that's all right. So in the 13U AA, recruits not St. Louis Grind, St. Louis Gamers, Eureka Eagles have a good squad there. Midwest Rebels, 643 KC Black. Blue Springs, Missouri was over playing Missouri Redhawks. Let's get down to that bracket here. St. Louis Gamers come out on top 10-5 over the Recruits Baseball Club. Coach Knott's squad. Eureka Eagles were in the semifinals along with the St. Louis Grind. Congrats to those guys there. And then
real quick before you
move on,
is that 643 Club a national club? Because I thought there was a 643 clubs here in St. Louis as well. Because when I was looking at our 14U bracket that was released,
I'm not sure,
and I did not look at theirs
because it shows they're from Blue Springs, Missouri. So I don't know, bud. I don't know that much about them at this point. They had a AAA division for 13U. You had the Jackson Tribe Black, St. Jen River Dogs, Missouri Bulls. Up from, I like that. St. Jen come up. Cape Girardeau came up to play. You had a Coach Whaley squad from PBA, Kurt Whaley. And then you had Future Swings Black out of Jacksonville, Illinois.
They traveled.
Yep, and then another 643 KC out of Blue Springs over as well with that group. So let's check it out here. Also at Peruke. Peruke's a nice ballpark over there. I like that.
They
have a nice complex.
Would like the bathrooms to be a little bit closer.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And a concession stand.
Future Swings coming out on top there, 7-4 over the Missouri Bulls, Coach Miller's squad. Jackson Tribe had lost to the Future Swings in the semifinals 5-1. Missouri Bulls beating St. Jen River Dogs in the other semifinal game. So the Future Swings out of Jacksonville, Illinois, come down and take the championship in the 13U AA. We have one more division, 14U, Illinois Gators, 643 KC Black, Midwest Futures, Union Wildcats, St. Louis Eagles, Gas House Baseball, Mora. And 643 here on take the championship in the 14U, 13-5 over the Union Wildcats, who had defeated the Illinois Gators 7-6 in the semifinal, while the 643 Black took care of Gas House Baseball 11-1 in the other semifinal. So that is the Cup Championship for this week. Game 7 baseball wrapping up the tournament weekend. Again, we're going to be out there. Be a lot of fun. I know you guys are playing over at Peruke, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
Schedules are out, right?
Schedules are out. They got released this morning. I would like to say though the jersey that they gave away instead of
cool,
like a
isn't it?
ring or anything like
Yeah.
that. I think that's pretty neat. Everybody kind of gets one of those. I like that the belts I've seen some belts get sent out there, but the jerseys are pretty sweet.
Yes.
It looks like the home whites of the Blues jersey, but
I think it's going to be interesting out there. We're going to see the Edwardsville Spikes over at Bridgeton. And one of the reasons, folks, it's not that we wouldn't go over to Peruke as well. We just can't live stream from Peruke because of the issues with bandwidth. So that's the only we're going to be there. Please do. Hey, that'd be cool. I appreciate it.
Well, we play at 9 and 11. This is the first time I sent Dave a message, and I said, "Hey, Dave," I said, "with high school ball being over, I said, we play."
I don't care what time I play.
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't want 9, 8. I'm just kidding. I'm not complaining. But we went from playing 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock on Saturdays to now playing at 9 and 11. Everybody's now excited.
Hey, you can go fishing.
Not in this heat. Going right back in the AC. I'm super happy that he scheduled me at 9 o'clock in the morning, actually.
Oh, man. Edwardsville Spikes, Illinois Gators, Coach Yates squad's going to be out there. The Moco Tribe, Recruits Baseball, River Warriors. I'm not quite sure. Ellis Grove, Illinois. I don't either. So Jared Peters and Southern Indiana Outlaws out of Evansville, Indiana, will be coming over to play in that one as well.
This will be their first time down here, correct?
Yeah, J.R. Needlinger, it looks like, is the coach. So we'll get to see some teams we hadn't seen yet. The Edwardsville Spikes, haven't seen Recruits yet, or the Southern Indiana Outlaws. So that's going to be an interesting one. Looking forward to that as well. So we'll be out there, as we said. Justin and I will be out. We'll have some trivia. We're going to bring some stuff, do some video, interviews, having a lot of fun. I like baseball weekends. It is going to be warm, so all you umpires, everybody start hydrating now. All you players, hydrate. Justin, am I correct? Drink water. Hydrate or dehydrate, he says.
That's harsh. I mean, it's true because what's going to happen is those, Saturday morning they're going to be pounding waters trying to get hydrated, and it's not working. You have got to hydrate 2 days prior.
Yes.
To get your body going, and you don't stop.
Start get good 6 to 8 ounces 8 times a day. Don't just drink Gatorade, right, Justin? Drink water, hydrate your body. Then you can replenish with the Gatorade. You can replenish with the Gatorade, or the Powerade, or the Body Armor, or whatever you want to drink.
I have a feeling that's a personal thing.
That's a personal one on him. Okay. Yeah, Body Armor.
Body Armor Light or the regular Body Armor? Good, because that's like 48 grams of sugar in the regular Body Armor.
Oh, man.
I'm drinking a Gatorade, by the way.
I saw that, but that's okay.
This could be a spot where maybe I could plug it real quick. And
at least it ain't Haterade. We ain't drinking the Haterade.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Oh my goodness!
I did like Waterboy. That's a movie that I can recite.
Hey, also, just stay tuned this week. We're going to be out at C&H Ballpark. Coach Perkins got a camp going on out there, and we're going to have him on the show. And we're going to just do it from C&H Ballpark. We're going to have some fun. Hopefully, maybe we get some kids over, talk to some of the kids out there. Be a fun one. Kevin Mulder, he's got an event he's doing. Matt Shadow is up to his eyeballs because he's traveling a lot right now. They just got back from NPI in Lake Point. Justin was there with them. So we're going to be out there with Coach P if you want to come out and hang out with us.
I think he actually has quite a few area high school coaches helping him as well. And that's, again, obviously Coach Perkins has talked about a lot here. He's a part of some of the shows that we've done. The
fabric of baseball.
And he works with everything.
He does.
He's just not trying to, he doesn't have some secret sauce, or salsa to this thing that he does so good. And he likes to contact other area coaches because there's kids here that might go to rival schools, and he just wants to make people better. I don't think it's just the athletes. I'm sure there's some tips that he doesn't share, but at the end of the day, he is more than willing to help a young coach learn.
And that Exactly. And it is like that because we've had those conversations. You know, he says, I've picked other guys' brains and I've used their stuff and I've done this and this and that. And he goes, somebody asks me, I'll tell them. And, you know, because in the end, it's still going out and competing and whatnot. It's baseball. It's if you got guys and it makes the game better, makes everything better, and it puts you in a position, I think, to for the whole state to succeed. Because remember, it isn't about me, it's about the kids. Are we helping the kids get better?
They're going somewhere. We've got a heck of a lot of talent over there, and there's a lot of talent in this area. And you have got to be putting these people in position to be successful young men and then hopefully college athletes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dude, as always,
Yes,
good
sir.
one. Appreciate everybody joining in today. Comment, share. If you like what we're doing, please share it out with your friends. While you're here, hit the subscribe button. Become part of the show with your comments. We'd love to hear from you. All of that sort of jazz. Till next time, everybody have a great day in the Lord. And all you pitchers, keep throwing strikes, and you hitters,
And they ain't.
good advice. We'll see you next time.